Hi, Sally Walker here, your hormone and slow age expert. So what is this prostate? I think most gentlemen have heard the word, but they may not necessarily know what it is. And you ladies, I'm pretty sure that you really don't know very much about it. So listen here. The prostate is a small, walnut-sized muscular gland which is located deep inside of the male groin. So, somewhere between the base of the penis and the rectum and just below the bladder. And in fact, the prostate seems to surround the urethra. So the urethra is the tube which transports the urine from the bladder to the outside world, so through the penis, okay? And this is the challenge because as that prostate becomes enlarged, it seems to put pressure on the urethra, and that means that urine cannot flow as easily or as well or as much as it used to before the enlargement. So this is the challenges with the prostate as such, okay? So it has a primary function, very important, because it produces the alkaline fluid that nourishes and transports the sperm, called the seminal fluid. So it's really, really important. And because it's a muscular gland, the muscular action of the prostate actually helps propel the fluid and the semen through the penis during sexual climax. So that's why we have the prostate as such, or why you boys have the prostate. We ladies do not have prostates, absolutely not. So by the time you get to the age of 40, boys, your prostate may already be a little bit large. So going from the size of a walnut to a size of an apricot. And by the time you get to the age of 60, it can very easily be the size of a lemon. So there are things that happen from around the age of 40 onwards. And by the time you get to the age of 80, boys, pretty much all of you will have challenges with an enlarged prostate. Now, let me hurry up and say that an enlarged prostate is not the same as prostate cancer, nor is it necessarily going to become a prostate cancer. This is something completely different, okay? So the enlarged prostate is something most men will have troubles with at one point in their life, especially as they age. So the longer you are living, boys, the more likely it is you're going to have an enlarged prostate, which is going to affect your ability to pee, basically. And it needs to be looked at and it needs to be treated. So there's an article in the blog about how we can treat enlarged prostates, and medication is one of the ways of doing it. And there can be some kind of surgical techniques as well, which you can also do, and have a look at those because it's quite important so you get to know what can happen if you get an enlarged prostate, so what you can do about it at least. Okay, so we know that the hormone testosterone, or it's one of its metabolites called dihydrotestosterone, DHT, which is very, very potent. We know that these are the hormones which create the growth of the prostate during adolescence and also create the extra growth later in life. So we know it's a hormonal response, but there's not a lot of focus on why this happens. So I put my estrogen hat on and I think about, so how do we get rid of estrogen? Well, it has to go through the liver, it's fat soluble, has to go through these detoxification pathways. So DHT would also have to go through those pathways. So perhaps there is something to do with how we metabolize DHT, that we don't do it as effectively, or you boys don't do it as effectively as you age. Could be something like that. Maybe you are reuptaking it through the gut because you would have got dysbiosis. So all the things actually that affect estrogen metabolism can also affect DHT metabolism, because DHT, like estrogen, is the end station. So testosterone we can convert to DHT, testosterone we can convert to estrogen, so that means we don't always get a buildup of DHT, of testosterone, but we do or can have a build-up of DHT or estrogens, estradiols, for example. So I'm thinking perhaps there's something there in the lifestyle that we should be aware of as we age. We ladies need to be aware of it, and maybe this is something also that you boys need to be a little bit aware of, the detoxification pathways for getting rid of DHT, so you don't get these enlarged prostates, or it doesn't happen so quickly. Yes. So anyway, there's lots more information in the blog this time. Information about prostate cancer. As I said, that is not the same as having benign prostate hyperplasia, as it's called. Enlarged prostate is nowhere near the same. And because you have an enlarged prostate doesn't mean to say you're going to get prostate cancer. So you don't need to worry so much about that. But you should be concerned if you do start getting the peeing symptoms, so not being able to pee, or not being able to start peeing, or not being able to empty your bladder, so you have to go pee again, etc., etc. All these kind of symptoms, and there is an article about the symptoms in the blog. So it is important to do something about the symptoms, because you can get challenges with your bladder. And worst case scenario is that you also can get problems with your kidneys because you're not getting rid of the urine. So be aware, ladies, of your men's peeing trips to the toilet, then their urgency, their increased need, or the frequency at least. So be aware of these things. And my advice would be just gently take him by the hand and get him off to the doctor, so that these things can be looked at, so we don't get any nasty surprises. Happy hormones, happy life.